Welcome to LateNightCrow. I make unique horror stories on this channel, so feel free to subscribe and support me. I thank everyone that listens to my stories. Now get cozy, grab your snacks, and enjoy. I live in a quiet village. I'm 24 years old, and my name's Ellis. We don't really have much around our village apart from farms and fields spread across as far as the eye can see. I don't have any friends around where I live, apart from the friends I made in college days. So I guess you can say I'm kind of a loner. I live with my parents currently. They're usually always in the farm or at work, so most of the time I get really bored at home, and I like to meet the few friends I have quite often. The day before, Melissa, who is a close friend of mine I've known for a pretty long time, messaged me asking me if I'd like to meet up and hang out in town the next day. I was definitely down for it just to get me out of the house, I guess. Melissa was my crush back in secondary school, but as we got older we just decided to stay as really good friends. And that was fine by me, as I didn't really have any female friends anyway. So I let her know that I'll be meeting her tomorrow, and she replied with, "Cool, I'll see you soon. We could maybe go get a cup of coffee or something tomorrow." I replied with, "Sure, sounds good to me." It came to nighttime. I got in the shower, got some snacks, got into bed, and watched a bit of YouTube till I eventually dozed off. I woke up at about 10 in the morning to Melissa ringing me. I picked up and she asked me, "Hey, are you awake? I'm getting ready now and I'll be leaving home in about 30 minutes. I replied with, "Hey, yeah, sorry, I'm up now. I'm getting ready. I'll be at the bus stop soon." I got out of bed as quickly as I could, washed my face, brushed my teeth, and got ready. I also got some breakfast in me just before heading out. Now before I carry on, bear in mind the bus stop was about a 5-minute walk from my house, and the bus journey would take about 45 minutes to get into town, sometimes quicker depending on traffic. I personally don't drive, and my parents wouldn't take me either, even if I practically begged them. My parents are basically cheapskates, and they would try and save any penny possible. Anyways, I made my way to the bus stop and waited for the bus to arrive. Once it arrived, I got on and went to the very back of the bus. There weren't many people on it, as it was still quite early in the morning. I pulled my phone out of my pocket to message Melissa. "I'm on the way now," she replies with, "Alright, see you in a bit." Throughout the bus ride, I just stared at the countryside out the window next to me, as I find it quite peaceful and calming. About half an hour goes by, and we were already in town faster than I expected. I waited for my stop, and as we approached, I pressed the stop button and got off. Melissa was already there waiting for me. We gave each other a hug, and we made our way to a cafe not too far away from us. We ordered a black coffee and just started casually chatting away about life. She then unexpectedly decided to ask me if I'd like to come to her house and hang out, which was really close nearby, probably not even a 5-minute walk from where we were. I followed up with, "Sure, that would be cool." She replied with, "Great, let's go. We've got nothing better to do anyway." We left the cafe and made our way to her house. We got there in about 3 minutes. Once we got to the front door, she invited me in. Nobody was home at her house, so she led us straight to her room. Now Melissa is a heavy gamer, if I haven't mentioned already, so we sat down, she set up her console, and we started playing games and genuinely having fun. We ordered some pizza after a couple hours too. I didn't really notice or check the time the whole time we were hanging out, but by the time I did, it was getting kind of late. It was about 10 p.m. already. So we basically spent almost the whole day gaming, playing Minecraft. I knew I had to get ready soon and head to the bus stop, as I didn't want to miss the last bus. So I told Melissa I'd be leaving soon and maybe we could hang out tomorrow again and do something else. She said sure, it was really fun. I'm hoping we can meet tomorrow again. Before I knew it, I had to start getting ready. So I put my shoes and my coat on and made my way to the bus stop to go home. Melissa offered to take me and wait with me, but I kindly told her that it's fine and I'll message her when I get home. I got to the bus stop, and it arrived in literally about a minute since I got there, so I was quite relieved not having to wait longer. I got on the bus and made my way to the back, as I usually do if it's not already been taken. It was pretty dark outside, so I just sat on my phone for the journey and played some Mortal Kombat. I didn't really notice up until my phone popped up with a notification that my battery was low. So I got off my phone and put it away. As I looked up to see where we were, I could see about 3 guys just sat across each other, talking to themselves, but every now and then looking me up and down. I didn't think much of it since I'm used to it, but it seemed kinda suspicious. I felt like they were talking about me, and the way they were talking was almost like they didn't want anyone else to hear, like they were plotting something. I noticed my stop was coming up ahead, so I got ready to press the button. Just before my stop came, I pressed the button, got up, and made my way to get off the bus. As I stood up and walked, I just had a slight look at one of the guys, and he was just staring at me with the kind of look like I've done something wrong to offend him in some sort of way. I don't know what the guy's problem was. I've never seen him before, but I just gave a friendly smile and got off the bus. As I got off, I instantly had a bad feeling, as I could hear multiple voices behind me, and I knew it was them. I thought to myself, why did they get off at the same stop as me? I've never seen them around here before. It was really strange to me, but I just kept walking towards home. Out of nowhere, I hear a voice behind me shouting out, saying, "Oi, where do you think you're going? Come here." I pretended like I didn't hear him and kept walking, but then I felt something hard hit the back of my head. I figured it was a stone chucked at me, since there were stones everywhere at the side of the path. I stopped and held the back of my head as it throbbed in pain. It felt like a sharp pain, but thankfully I wasn't bleeding. Then I hear the same voice saying, "Don't walk away from me." I said, "Come here. I want to talk to you." I turned around and said, "Please, I'm not looking for any trouble. I'm just going home. Is there anything I can help with?" The 3 guys then walked up to me and pulled out what seemed to be a really long blade and followed with, "Empty your pockets right now or I'll take your life where you stand. Do you understand?" The other 2 guys stood on my left and right side. I was surrounded. I knew that there was no way out of this. I raised my hands and calmly said, "Please take whatever you want, just don't hurt me. Take whatever you need. Just please let me go." The guy in front of me held the blade against my chest, while the other 2 guys proceeded to pat me down and search me. They noticed a watch on my left wrist, which my dad gave me after finishing college, and they forced me to take it off. I said, "Please don't take my watch. It was a gift from someone special." The guy in the middle follows up with, "Was I asking?" I said, "Take it off now. Don't make it worse for yourself. I swear I will slice you right now." I slowly took my watch off with my hands shaking and passed it to the guy holding the blade against me. He then says, "Good, what else have you got for me? This doesn't have to end badly, just be honest with me." I then said, "Nothing, that's all I've got. I have nothing else. I just have my phone, but I need that. Please don't take it off me, I'm begging you." The guy says, "Pass it to me now. You're not the one making orders here. Do you understand? Now if you want to make it out alive, pass me your phone. I'm not going to ask you again." At that point I really just wanted to try and run, but I didn't want to risk my life. I pulled my phone out my zipped pocket, but then about 3 cars are coming down the road with high beams. The guy in the middle immediately conceals the blade inside his jacket. I gripped my phone as hard as I can and I took my chances. I turned around and I ran as fast as I could. adrenaline running through me like never before in my life. I didn't look back. I could hear them running after me. I was getting close to my house and they were still chasing me. I screamed as loud as I could with hopes that someone would notice me and help me. Then something flies past me just by my shoulder, missing me. It was the blade that one of the guys had. I ran even faster. I was right in front of my house and luckily my parents were home. I could see our car in front of the driveway. Within that split second, I was praying to God that the doors were open. I ran into the doors, pushing the handle down as fast as I could and bashing the door behind me, putting the safety lock on. My parents come rushing to the corridor, asking me what the hell am I doing and what on earth is going on. I try my hardest to catch my breath and tell them to call the police right now. I peeped through the peephole on the door, and I could see the guys running off in the distance. I dropped to the floor with my back against the door in disbelief and anger. I felt about 100 emotions all at once. My parents then made me explain everything, and I told them. Not long after, the police showed up and took a statement. I explained everything I could in detail. Their facial features, their clothing, where they ran off, the times I got on and off the bus. Anything that I could remember. The police took my contact, details, and said they will patrol the area and will get back to me if anything pops up. My parents were in shock as nothing like this has ever happened. Luckily, I still had my phone, and most importantly, my life, thanks to them cars passing by. I don't know what I have done wrong. Why was I targeted? I questioned everything. I messaged Melissa and explained everything to her, and she cried saying it's her fault. But I tried to calm her down and reassure her that it wasn't. Who would have knew this would have happened? Thanks for listening to my story. To this day, I still haven't heard back from the police. But from now on, I know that I will not be taking a bus at night, as it has changed my life forever, and I'm always extra aware of what's around me now. Goodbye, and stay safe, everyone.